Come on, Mei. It'll clear my mind. Just a little hint. It's so cute.
Fine.
The Pixar movie titled Turning Red is the latest Pixar animation, recently released on the 11th of March 2022. It's directed by Domee Shi and involves a great cast including James Hong, Jordan Fisher, Sandra Oh, Maitreyi Ramakrishnan, Rosalie Chiang, Orion Lee, Wai Ching Ho, and many others. Turning Red is being released on Disney Plus rather than into cinemas worldwide. The animated film tells the story of a young girl named Mei Lee who turns into a red panda bear every time she gets excited. An awkward adolescent experiencing puberty who turns into a ginormous animal when she gets excited? What could possibly go wrong? The idea of Turning Red is to navigate the journey of teenagehood and the complex feelings and experiences that come with it. Here, we basically see the world through the eyes of a 13-year-old girl. While we are sure to have a good number of laughs, the film creates an important and emotionally resonant theme which everyone can relate to regardless of age. We can only imagine that the making of this film was just as interesting as the film itself. Let's take a peek behind the curtain to find out how this deeply personal and relatable story was made. What are some incredible things that happened behind the scenes? Let's find out.
How is this possible? What happened to your panda?
It's easy.
Over the course of 4 years, the team behind Disney Pixar's Turning Red built a new story to life, one that is bursting with creativity, nostalgia, and joy. A lot of careful attention was put in the making of the story, which is majorly based on the real-life experiences of director Domee Shi.
Devin, my precious manly man.
I banish you.
Literally go away.
A great way to kick things off would be to note that Turning Red would be the first Pixar movie with an all-female team in the creative leadership roles, and this was a total coincidence. The target was simply to put together an efficient team that would work well, and these women proved to have what it takes. They happened to work the most efficiently of any Pixar film in history, taking just 4 years to create this movie from scratch, which is a record for Pixar. Talk about girl power. You go, girls!
Making my own moves. 24/7, 365.
Determined to leave no stone unturned in their research, a small group of the creative team took a field trip to the San Francisco Zoo to have a real experience of red pandas before the zoo opened up to the public for the day. This was to make sure their representation of the panda is perfectly accurate. During their time at the zoo, the team's sketch artists were able to draw sketches of the pandas as they looked and moved naturally, while the pandas were being fed. Even with this careful research done by the team, they reported that animating the red panda was still a challenge. Regardless, having the best source material possible made it easier to create a realistic look.
That's my little scholar. Today, honor student. Tomorrow, UN Secretary General.
While we all can say the proportions of the animated version were exaggerated to be larger than life, there is no denying that Panda Mei was just as cute as the real thing. Since she was depicted as a chunky cute, no one who has set eyes on her could help wanting to cuddle our fluffy furry friend. Since this panda had unusual proportions, translating it into the 3D world while retaining 2D qualities was quite tricky business. Because it had so much fur, making it look right and realistic took a lot more effort. Even more challenging was pulling off a realistic walk with the red panda's short legs while making sure Mei was able to get around as quickly as she needed to. Our first sight of Panda Mei was such a special moment for everyone that no one can deny all that effort certainly paid off.
We just wanted to see Four Town.
Four Town! You manipulated her for a bunch of tacky delinquents?
No, she wanted to.
Don't you blame her.
When you want to bring something extraordinary to life, sometimes the usual doesn't cut it. To make the animation for Turning Red, a totally novel technology was developed and utilized with a focus on diversification. This inclusive technology scanned frames from different scenes to see what the representation was like. The purpose was to make sure the animation realistically represented the world we're living in. This includes all kinds of details, ranging from having a character who is an insolent punk to including wheelchair-accessible ramps outside the temple. In cases where this wasn't achieved with the technology alone, the animation team made careful adjustments to get the job done.
Everyone, go home! Where are your parents? Put some clothes on!
Who doesn't love a great boy band? They blow you away with their smoking hot music and smoking hot looks. The musical minds behind our favorite boy band Four Town are none other than Billie Eilish and Phineas O'Connell, who penned the songs performed by the band in the film, which taps into pop culture. O'Connell also lends his voice to one of the band members along with Jordan Fisher, Josh Levi, Topher Ngo, and Grayson Villanueva. Not sure whether or not the musicians would be willing to join the team, the film producer Lindsay Collins put together together a dazzling scrapbook that the character Mei would have made, full of 4-town pictures and drawings, including the faces of Billy and Phineas on top. This showed how keen she was to get these two artists to sign on the movie. Thankfully, they're both full animation fans and were excited to sign the deal after a meeting with the creative team. The 3 new 4-town original songs are set to make a lasting impact on the charts. Disney has already released the track Nobody Like You, performed by the members of 4-town, with the full Turning Red soundtrack release coinciding with the film's streaming debut on March 11. Before we go further, please take a moment to like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on your post notifications too, because trust us, you don't want to miss out. Now let's get back into it.
My whole life I've been her perfect little Mei. Temple duties, grades, violin, tap dance.
The cast and crew worked on this movie for about 4 years. Almost 2 of those years were spent at home when the COVID lockdown set in. Turning Red was in pre-production for animation when everything shut down. After a couple of weeks, the team has to find ways to set up to work from home. This meant the team had to work remotely for a major part of the filmmaking process, sometimes even in less than ideal situations. As a result of all the trouble caused by the pandemic, not only did the team have to worry about working on couches and kitchen tables, they also had to figure out ways to keep the large team motivated and on track while working virtually. Created something she called the Power Panda Proof weekly nominations, which involve different cast and crew members writing kind things about their co-workers every week. During the crew tea time, emails could be read aloud for everyone to hear. What a sweet way to create amazing team spirit.
Hey, Dorkbag, we're in, but you only get the panda for an hour. And we're not bringing any presents.
Deal.
The COVID pandemic created a need for social distance and isolation, which created a need for creative ways to get work done. Since a lot of the recording was done during the pandemic, the actors had to work from different places while simultaneously synchronizing their sound. Sometimes they were even halfway around the world. For one, pop singer Anne-Marie recorded her cameo with Lauren from the UK, with Domee Shi directing her virtually. For the harmonies of the boy band, the singers had to get together. The creative solution implemented was to fill up recording studios with tiny huts with windows built in for performers to sing together but apart. Goes to show anything is possible if you have enough passion and money to pull it off.
So cute. No.
Many people get crazy about wanting to recreate meals they see on screen because it just looks so good. I understand it. After all, why would something that looked that tasty not exist in our world? The meals in Turning Red are immensely drool-worthy and they always look so appetizing. How do they manage to pull that off? The secret to making it feel so delicious, they revealed, was to make the food look oily and glossy. They also made the colors look very vibrant and saturated. Who would have thought that's all it takes to get us drooling over our screens?
How could she do this to her own mother?
The movie director Domee Shi shared that Turning Red was heavily influenced by Japanese anime. This explains the style of water and food, the streaky light on windows, the over-expressive eyes, and exaggerated expressions. Somehow, they managed to create the perfect cocktail of Disney Pixar movies and Japanese anime by seamlessly tying it into the overall vibe of the movie. While watching this movie, we get a feel of both the familiar and unfamiliar. This is because the style of the movie is one we've never experienced in a Pixar movie before, but it incorporates everything we already know. Turning Red puts together the essence of 2D in a 3D world. Finding that balance was the challenge for the film's animators. The team's goal was to combine 2D and 3D in creating something novel, and this definitely pushed the team out of their comfort zone. Eventually, they were able to accomplish this and use it as a tool in the movie, giving us a mix that we are certain would be memorable. I bet you can't wait to see the coming-of-age fantasy comedy film Turning Red right now. What do you think of the story and what's your favorite behind-the-scenes fact? Let us know in the comment section below, and please hit the subscribe button and ring the notifications bell so you're first to know every time we upload new content. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time, and bye for now.
I'm so sorry. You are her pride and joy, so act like it!